all licensed architects and engineers here, right? And so we went to school to become architects and engineers.
So many of us got into this profession because we want to make a difference.
None of us really came here to do sales. None of us came here really to take care of paperwork, to make sure you're complying with, state laws or federal laws.
Just the nature of what we do and caring about these portions of our society makes a difference.
But what we all kind of develop here is this love for the company. A lot of other versions of our firm in the beginning, Frankfurt Short Costin, and we had an Emery and a McKinley in there. But once it settled in as Frankfurt Short Brugia, it's been that way now for since the 1980s.
But I think that the special thing about this company for all 79 years is that the company was established and has grown over time to support the needs of the state of Oklahoma and beyond. If you look through the history of the company, when aviation, for instance, in the beginning of the company was so critical in the growth of this state, that's where the focus was.
It used to be very important, maybe who the shareholders were in the firm, and so it was very important to them to have their name on the firm. And so that's why I think the name changed so many times over the years. But part of being FSB Architects and Engineers, we kind of got rid of those names. Who the shareholders are at this firm are less important today than maybe it's ever been in the past. Now we're just focused on the work that we do and the people that were here, developing them and moving them into leadership positions so that they too can one day become a shareholder here. Architects and engineers, by their very nature, we're building facilities that exist throughout our communities, right? And so in a lot of ways, we believe that our facilities that we're designing are already touching many, many folks. But in, I think, the completion of that work, you run across so many other organizations and groups that are, significant parts of our community, and you can't help but get, involved in their programs when you see the good work that they're doing.
We're working on really complex, really large projects that requires leadership. And we ask people, we really encourage them to be leaders at every single level in the firm, right? So what we do takes a lot of technical expertise, but it also takes true leadership, whether it's on your individual level, whether it's on a project level, eventually on a firm level. And so it's not enough, we know, to ask them to be leaders. We actually have to grow and develop them and teach them how to be leaders.
While the firm has a number of individual focus, groups that we focus on as a firm, individually our people are out there throughout the community, touching a large number of other organizations, and that's just kind of their own personal interests. They bring many of those back to the firm, bring other people and get them involved. We've got an internship program for summer interns that are still in college. They come here, they get exposure to our professional practice.
When people come in as college interns, there's an understandable level of discomfort in getting in front of your peers and getting in front of the company. So part of that is working with them all summer, putting them in opportunities on probably a monthly basis to push them to teach others what they've learned, to get up and present the very beginnings of leadership, right? And then at the end of the summer, have them present on everything that they learned, what their experiences were, and how they feel like they've grown.
And what I love about that program is we start to instill training of leadership and also community service with them from the very beginning.
As people come into the firm full time, then we have the Young Professionals program that is just another notch up. It's starting to introduce them to peer-to-peer learning. And so it's from the very beginning up through probably the first 10 years of their career.
But there's a community service aspect to that as well.
Which is very, very important, I think, for leadership development in general. To do something that you care about and to be encouraged to do something out of your regular duties to make a difference for the community that you live and work in.
It goes into our FSB Associates program, our Senior Associates program.
As you move further and further into the firm, we've really focused both on management training and then the Associates program, which is truly leadership development training. And that program is very firm initiative focused. It's leadership development both through growth and development opportunities, but also through identifying ways that the firm can improve, and then developing the initiative to actually make a difference for that problem that's been identified. As those people grow through that program, the final step is kind of the senior associate program, which is the people that rise to the top from the associates program and that really have the opportunity to be the top levels of leadership in the company, if you will. That's kind of the finishing off portion of the growth and development.
And again, there's a community service program in addition to the leadership program.
I think the neat thing about, as you look through that, 100% of the managing partners in this firm grew up through all of those programs.
And so from beginning to end of an employee's career here at FSB, they're getting exposed to these leadership opportunities, this leadership training, community service, all of that's being pulled together. And then no doubt that's been a tenet of our company since the very beginning in 1945.
So it was the foresight of the generation prior to us to really solidify and develop those programs. And then we continue to try to make them more impactful, more meaningful, to ensure that we're growing the next generation of leaders. That's really what it's all about.
We've been Frankfurt Shore Brugia for so long. The only problem came in is people thought we were a law firm. And so, we decided, okay, we need to rebrand ourselves, and do business as FSB Architects and Engineers. And so it kind of shortened our name a little bit. It still gives homage to our founders, and that's what's most important to us.
But it's been FSB for so long and it's so well known, and I think that reputation speaks for itself. That history of making a difference in the community, in the state, and really nationally is what we wanted to carry forward. Our current generation of ownership, we feel like we're just stewards for a short amount of time. And that we want to leave this company in even better shape and pass it on to the next generation so that it lives in perpetuity. It's not about us, it's about the company.
We get a number of calls, as you can imagine, with mergers and acquisitions that exist, nationally, and we're just not interested in that. We are Frankfurt Shore Brugia today, and we plan to be that forever.